What's going on, friends? Welcome back to College Sports Corner. Hope you're having a great weekend. Hope your Sunday morning's going good. Got some great games yesterday. Some surprises, too. I was surprised by a couple of them. Overall, probably wasn't as good as the week of last Saturday, but yesterday was pretty good. We had some pretty good games. There's about four or five I was interested in watching them. Got to see them. Really good games. So we're going to go over those. Got some news to go over first. But before we start, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss anything. Listen to it at work tomorrow. I mean, who wants to be at work on Monday anyway? Might as well listen to some college football talk, right? Right. Okay. So we're going to do our week 8 review yesterday. Got some news items to get to. Sad story, real sad story. San Jose State freshman running back Camden McWright. He died after being hit by a bus while he was riding on his scooter. He's only 18 years old. I think it happened Thursday or Friday. I think maybe Friday. Anyway, San Jose State canceled their game against New Mexico State yesterday. Man, 18 years old. That's just horrible. Prayers to him, prayers to his family and friends and teammates. Man, 18. That's just too young. So God bless you, Camden McWright. Yesterday, Weber State lost to Montana State 43-38 after surrendering the most safeties in a single game in Division I football history. They surrendered 3 total safeties in that game. You may see one or two safeties a weekend in games, but 3 in one game? Wow, that's crazy. Dabo says, did you see the game yesterday, Clemson and Syracuse? That was a great game. Dabo says DJ is our guy, even after benching him yesterday and putting in Klubrick. I think this is how you say his name. Klubrick came in, he played decent, but I guess they just wanted to change and took DJ out. But Dabo says DJ is our guy, so none of y'all worry, none of y'all freak out or anything. The Penn Yale game, I don't know if anybody saw that, because it's probably online, ESPN Plus or something. But the halftime was delayed when fossil fuel protesters stormed the field, protesting something about fossil fuels and having to do with Penn. And I don't know, they were in the stands with banners, evidently, handing out flyers before the game. I don't know what the whole thing was about, but they delayed the game, and I don't know. They finished the game, but it got delayed because of that. Miami quarterback Tyler Van Dyke, he left the game yesterday against Duke with an apparent shoulder injury, is what they're saying. Mario Cristobal said they will know more sometime today or tonight how bad the injury actually is. Last bit of news. Okay, last week, Tennessee storms the field when they beat Alabama. I think a wide receiver for Bama, Jermaine Burton, struck a woman on the field. Nick Saban says he didn't suspend him because he didn't think it was necessary. Like I said, a video surfaced this week of Burton striking a woman. Her name is Emily Isaacs, and the video's out there. I saw it. Nick said if you knew the whole story, you wouldn't suspend him either, but Saban wouldn't divulge what the whole story was. I finally saw the video this morning. It's kind of far back. I mean, you got to zoom in on your phone and your tablet, whatever. And looks like she was, went in front of him, kind of, dancing in front of him, I guess taunting him, and he reached over and smacked her. She probably shouldn't have done that. She should have probably just gone out there and celebrated with her friends. At the same time, he shouldn't have done that either. I don't know what the story is, Nick says, but go out and look at the video. Make a determination for yourself. I probably would have suspended him after what I saw, but hey, I don't know. Maybe you can't hear any sound. Who knows? Maybe she used some language or something she shouldn't have, and that's what set him off. But I don't know. Video's out there. Go look for it and see what you think about it all. All right, so let's get to some games here. All right, we're going to start here with Friday, because we did the Thursday games on Friday show. Tulsa beat Temple 27-16. Tulsa's Bryn, 15 for 22, 155 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Prince had 231 rushing yards, a touchdown, and he also caught a touchdown pass. Temple's Warner, 196 passing yards and a touchdown. Leighton Jordan, he had 35-yard pick six for them. Tulsa committed 3 turnovers. Bryn was sacked 7 times, and they still won the game. Shows you the resiliency there in that Tulsa Golden Hurricane team. Western Kentucky, they beat UAB 20-17. UAB's not doing as good as they usually do. I don't know what their deal is this year. They did commit 4 turnovers, and quarterback was sacked 3 times, so that's probably got something to do with it. Reed for Western Kentucky, 128 passing yards, no TDs, but he did rush for 2 touchdowns. Rudolph for UAB hit a 59-yard touchdown catch. That brings us into Saturday. Iowa. What are we going to do with you guys? They lose to Ohio State 54-10. CJ Stroud, 286 passing yards, 4 touchdowns. Fleming had 2 catches for 105 receiving yards and a touchdown, which one of them was a 79-yard touchdown catch. Eichenberg, he had an 18-yard pick six. Ohio State only had 66 rushing yards in this game. That's crazy. Listen to Iowa, though. Iowa, 81 passing yards, 78 rushing yards, 159 total yards, and the Ohio State defense forced 6 turnovers on them. There are jokes yesterday saying if you can keep Iowa's offense off the field, the defense will win the game for them. So evidently they couldn't because they ended up losing by 44 points. So I don't know. Okay, this one here, I said, if you remember, UT Martin's not a pushover. Tennessee could have a hangover. Tennessee Martin could give Tennessee some trouble. Yeah, Tennessee got over their hangover. They got over it real quick because they beat UT Martin 65-24. Hendon Hooker, 276 passing yards, 3 touchdowns. Hyatt picked up where he left off with 7 catches, 174 yards and 2 touchdowns. White, he had 5 catches, 122 yards and a touchdown. Keaton, he had 2 touchdown catches. Tennessee ended up with 495 total yards, or 495 passing yards, 201 rushing, 696 total yards in that game yesterday. UT Martin only ended up with 76 rushing yards and 392 total yards. So, but it wasn't all bad for Martin. Win, 301 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. That was okay, but still kind of creamed them. Good one I watched yesterday. Really good game. Clemson beat Syracuse 27-21. Syracuse led by 11 at the half. Syracuse had a great full first half. Defense was working great. Offense was working great. They were controlling the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, in the first half at least. Second half came, they kind of fell apart. Clemson made adjustments. Penalties killed Syracuse in the second half. Clemson, they moved the ball well throughout the whole game, but in that first half, Syracuse just kind of shut them down, stopped them in their tracks. But like I say, second half came and Clemson just dominated both sides of the ball and the line of scrimmage. They had enough of that. But it looked like there for a while, Syracuse might pull an upset. Clemson Shipley, 172 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. DJ was 13 for 21, 138 yards, threw 2 picks. And then Dabo put Klubnik in. Like I said, Klubnik, or however you say his name. He played okay. He didn't play like a DJ, but I guess they just needed some kind of spark or something. I don't know. Syracuse Schrader, 167 passing yards, touchdown. 71 rushing yards and a touchdown also. Like I said, it looked like there for a while Syracuse might win. But halftime came around. Adjustments were made. And Clemson did what the Clemson did. That's 2 close games this year, right? For Clemson. This one and the Wake Forest game. I have to go back and look at their schedule. I may have had another one, but Clemson looks beatable, just that nobody can do it. It's crazy. Let's see. Going down here, last night, Alabama, they were pissed off. But it doesn't look like they were too pissed off from losing to Tennessee because they only beat Mississippi State 30-6. Bryce Young, 249 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. Kicker Richard, he kicked 38, 33, and 50-yard field goals for the Tide. Will Rogers, 231 passing yards, 0 touchdowns for Mississippi State. Marks had a rushing touchdown. Total yards, Mississippi State, 293. Bama, 290. Yeah, a lot of people are saying Bama's lucky. They should be 4-3. I don't know if I agree with that. They should at least have 2 losses, I would think, but I don't know. Sometimes you just got to get lucky in football. Cincinnati beat SMU 29-27. Cincinnati's McClellan, 129 rushing yards, touchdown, which was a 76-yard touchdown run. SMU only had 80 rushing yards in this game. So SMU not having a good year like they usually have. Tulane, look at Tulane. They win again. They beat Memphis 38-28. Tulane was actually 35-0 at halftime over Memphis. Memphis did have more total yards in this game, but they still lost. For Tulane, Pratt, 158 passing yards, a touchdown. He even ran for a touchdown. Spears, 24 rushes, 125 yards and a touchdown. Jackson, he had a 90-yard punt return for a touchdown for Tulane. Memphis is Hennigan, 312 passing yards, 3 touchdowns. Pretty good game for him, even though they lost. Lewis had 2 of those touchdown catches. Memphis ended up with more total yards, but lost. That's kind of a trend we've seen these last couple of weeks. The losing team has more total yards than the winning team. It's crazy ass crap going on. Army beat Louisiana Monroe 48-24. Army's Jones had 41 passing yards, but he rushed for 96 yards and 3 touchdowns in this one. Daly had a 64-yard TD run in that one. Rogers for Louisiana Monroe, 164 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. Not all bad for him. Did you see the Kansas-Baylor game? Baylor was having their way with Kansas, and then Kansas made a run at the end and made it very interesting. But Baylor ends up winning 35-23. Shapen for Baylor, 164 passing yards and a touchdown. Reese had 31 rushes, 186 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. Baylor had 164 passing yards, 273 rushing yards, and 437 total yards. Kansas Bean, he started because Daniels is out with an injury. 232 yards and a touchdown, not all that bad for him. Neal had a rushing touchdown. Kansas, 56 rushing yards in this game. They did make a run at the end. They outscored Baylor 20-7 in the second half, but Baylor had scored enough before that to win the game. But yeah, they made it interesting. Kansas, after starting off 5-0, or 5-3 now. How much does that have to do with Daniels being out? I don't know, because the game, what game did he get hurt in? Was it TCU? He got hurt in, but Bean came in and played a hell of a game, so I figured they would be good at quarterback while Daniels is out, but I don't know. I didn't actually watch the game. I was watching the Syracuse-Clemson one, so I don't know what all transpired in that game for Kansas, but they've lost the last 3, so I don't know. All you can do is get one more and they'll be bowl eligible. That'd be, I'm sure people will be happy about that, Kansas fans. Kent State beat Akron 33-27. Both these teams had over 450 total yards in that game. Kent State's Cargman, 213 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. Walker had 5 catches for 72 yards, 2 touchdowns. Pretty good day for him. Akron's Irons, 383 passing yards and a touchdown. Pretty good day for him. Adams had 9 catches, 199 yards, and an 80-yard touchdown catch for Akron. Wasn't enough, though. Let's see. Houston beat Navy 38-20. Houston's Toon, 260 passing yards, 5 touchdowns. Hell of a good day for him. Dell had 92 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns. Good day for him. Lavatoy for Navy, 125 passing yards and a touchdown. Woodson Brooks for Navy. He had a scoop and score for a fumble. Returned it for a touchdown. Wasn't enough for them, but oh well, what are you going to do, huh? Indiana, boy, poor Indiana. They lose to Rutgers yesterday, 24-17. They had high hopes. I know a lot in the media had high hopes for them, but they've kind of just fallen apart here these last few weeks. Anyway, yeah, Rutgers beats them 24-17. Rutgers Brown, 101 rushing yards and a touchdown. Bracewell, he had a pick six. Indiana's Baszlik, 210 passing yards and a rushing touchdown. Lucas, 93-yard kickoff return for a touchdown for Indiana. Indiana scored in the first and the fourth quarter. That was it. That is all they did. Nothing in between. They only had 59 rushing yards in this game, too. So Indiana's got a lot of work to do if they want to make a bowl game. We'll see what happens. Another one, I just don't know what to make of them, Miami. Duke. Duke goes in there and beats them by 24 points. Duke wins 45-21. We mentioned that Van Treese, he got hurt. Garcia came in for Miami, 198 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. So, it's not too bad, but still. Young, 127 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns for the Hurricanes. Duke's Leonard, 136 passing yards, touchdown. Ran for 61 yards and 3 touchdowns also. So he ran all over Miami's defense. Johnson, he had a 29-yard pick six for Duke. Duke's defense forced 8 Miami turnovers. Kind of makes you wonder how the fans and the alumni are feeling about the whole Cristobal thing now. I don't go to their message boards I haven't read, but I don't know. Maybe if you want some entertainment this afternoon, go to the Miami message boards and read their comments. Buffalo beat Toledo, 34-27. Snyder for Buffalo, 238 passing yards and a touchdown. Cook had 121 rushing yards and a touchdown. Good day for him. Finn for Toledo, he's a good quarterback, 242 passing yards and a touchdown. Just came up a little bit short, couldn't beat Buffalo. Bowling Green beat Central Michigan 34-18. Bowling Green's McDonald, 238 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. Hardiman had a 45-yard scoop and score. That's a trend this weekend, too. A lot of scoop and scores. Bauer for Central Michigan, 185 passing yards and a touchdown. But he also ran for 109 yards, too. So he's a pretty good little quarterback there. Eastern Michigan beat Ball State 20-16. Eastern Michigan's Gomez, he kicked 38 and 55-yard field goals in this one to help them. Ball State's Paddock, 178 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. Steele, he rushed for 101 for Ball State. Ohio beat Northern Illinois, 24-17. Ohio's Rourke, 200 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. Wiglusz. Anyway, he had 2 touchdown catches. Nothing really to write about Northern Illinois. Nothing really stuck out, so sorry, they lost. Notre Dame back in the win column, 44, beat UNLV 44-21, which UNLV's not a bad team this year. I guess Notre Dame just had a better team yesterday than they did. Notre Dame's Pine, 205 passing yards, 2 TDs. Mayer, 6 catches, 115 yards and a touchdown. Notre Dame ended up at 428 total yards. UNLV's Bailey, rushing touchdown. UNLV ended up with 299 total yards in this one. OT, the mighty Rice Owls beat La Tech in OT, 42-41. Rice McMahon, 208 passing yards, 3 touchdowns. Hell of a game for him. McCaffrey, 10 catches, 171 yards, 2 touchdowns. Hell of a game for him. Louisiana Texas Downing, 159 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. Good game for him. Harris had 92 receiving yards and 3 touchdown catches. Good day for him. You can see why it's 42-41 because a lot of these players on Rice La Tech, they had hell of a games yesterday. So that's why it went into overtime, I guess. Texas Tech beat West Virginia 48-10. Texas Tech's Morton, 325 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. Brooks, 107 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. White, 8 catches, 139 yards and a touchdown. Daniels for West Virginia, 194 passing yards and a touchdown. Ford Wheaton, that's his name, Ford Wheaton, he had a touchdown catch. Texas Tech, 355 passing yards, 236 running yards, 591 total yards. West Virginia, they only had 73 rushing yards in this game. I have a feeling if they get the rushing game figured out, they might have rest of their season might be okay, but who knows. Florida International beat Charlotte 34-15. Florida International's Joseph, 17 rushes, 72 yards. He ran it in twice for touchdowns. Good for him. Charlotte's Reynolds, he had 231 passing yards, but they still lost. Marshall beat James Madison 26-12. James Madison started off good this year. I don't know what the hell's going on with them. Have they lost like the last two games? It's 12-9 at halftime. Marshall's LeBron, 30 rushes, 151 yards, 2 touchdowns. A good day for him. James Madison's Atkins, 164 passing yards and a touchdown. James Madison needs to get that shit turned around. Liberty. Okay, this game here. Liberty beats BYU 41-14. This is one of those games that you saw last spring or in the summer. Looked at it and said, this is going to be a good game. I don't know what's happened to BYU this year. They've kind of fallen off the map. BYU scored their 14 points in the first quarter. That was it. They said, we're done. That's all we need. Let's play conservative and win this game. Yeah. Liberty's Bennett, 247 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. Hunter, 80 yards. 80-yard touchdown run. Liberty, 547 total yards. They are 7-1 now. BYU's Hall had 187 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. BYU only had 71 rushing yards in this game. Maybe that's their problem too. Get that rushing game going like West Virginia. And those two will have a good rest of the year. Will be good for those two. Who knows? All right. Another team I root for that just ain't having a year worth of damn, Northwestern. They lose to Maryland 31-24. Maryland's 6-2 now. Good for them. Looks like they're getting their program turned around. Edwards Jr. from Maryland, 166 passing yards and a touchdown. He played for Tulua, because he's still injured. Hembry, 24 rushes, 179 yards, 3 touchdowns. Yeah, 75-yard touchdown run. Northwestern Sullivan, 143 passing yards, touchdown. He threw 2 picks, though. Northwestern actually led this game by 7 at halftime, and I guess Maryland had enough of that. So I'm a big fan of Pat Fitzgerald. The way he is, the way he coaches. I hope he gets this thing turned around. They don't get rid of him because, I don't know. Who else would you get to coach Northwestern? I mean, I don't know. Okay, Western Michigan beat Miami of Ohio 16-10. Western Michigan's Tyler, 110 rushing yards and a touchdown. Kicker Domshiki, I think that's how you say his name, Domshiki. He had 52-yarder, 46-yarder, and 37-yard field goals to help them win. Gobert from Miami of Ohio, 222 passing yards, rushing touchdown, but he was sacked 7 times by Western Michigan defense. Georgia Southern beat Old Dominion 28-23. Georgia Southern's Van Treese, 192 passing yards and a touchdown. Green rushed for 2 touchdowns. For Old Dominion, Wolf had 328 passing yards and a touchdown. Watson, 108 rushing yards and a touchdown. Jennings, 130 receiving yards and a touchdown for Old Dominion. UTSA 31, North Texas 27. UTSA had 495 total yards in this game. Harris passed for 238 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. He threw an interception, ran for 75 yards also. Brady had 19 rushes, 112 yards, and 2 touchdowns for UTSA. Good day for him. Cephas, 88 receiving yards and a touchdown. For North Texas, can't ever say this guy's name. Aune. On? Is the A silent? Anyway, he's a hell of a quarterback. I mean, yesterday, he had 325 passing yards, 3 touchdowns. I mean, that guy's pretty damn good. Gums, Roberts, Johnson, they all had TD catches for North Texas. And they only lost by 4 points. So they're obviously a decent offense. They led 13-10 at halftime. Or heading into the fourth. But UTSA outscored them 21-14 in the fourth quarter. But North Texas is another one of those teams that don't rush very well, like West Virginia and who else do we mention? They only had 22 rushing yards yesterday. So, that's probably got something to do with it. Wisconsin gets their first home win under the interim coach Leonard. Beat Purdue 35-24, which was shocking to me. I figured Purdue was going to win this game. O'Connell, he's a great quarterback. They got some good offensive weapons. I really didn't see Wisconsin winning this game, even though I like Wisconsin. Wisconsin's Mertz, 203 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. Allen, 113 rushing yards and a touchdown. Torchio, he had a 31-yard pick six for the Badgers. Purdue's O'Connell, 320 passing yards, a touchdown. He also rushed for a touchdown. He did throw 3 interceptions, though, which would have ended up in the pick six. Mokabe, 108 rushing yards and a touchdown. Purdue had a bad day yesterday. Wisconsin obviously had a good day. It's going to be interesting to see who they're looking at for their coach for Wisconsin. Then again, you never know. Leonhard might whip off wins the rest of the season. They may keep him. Who knows? Hawaii. Hawaii was winning yesterday, but they just couldn't close it out and lost to Colorado State by 4 points. Colorado State wins 17-13. Colorado State's Morrow, 147 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. Decent day for him. Hawaii Shager, 173 passing yards and a touchdown. Phillips, he had a TD catch. Both were close down. Both were close in third down efficiency, but Colorado State was 3 for 6 on fourth down. So that little extra step got them the win, I'm guessing. Vanderbilt start off the season so well, and they've just kind of tanked, haven't they? They lose to Mizzou, 17-14. Vandy started off 3-0 this year. Remember, there were even some people on TV talking about them as good as they were playing those first 3 games. I know one of them was Hawaii, the first game. But the way they played and the quarterback play there, a lot of people were talking they were going to have a good year, maybe even beat some teams in the SEC that they shouldn't. I don't think that's going to happen because they've lost 5 straight now since that great 3-0 start. So, Mizzou's Cook, 211 passing yards, a touchdown and interception. Burden had a 66-yard touchdown catch. Vanderbilt's Wright, 127 passing yards, a touchdown. Carter, he had an 80-yard touchdown catch. So they've got playmakers. They just can't figure out a way to win games. Defense did play good though. They had 3 sacks and forced 4 turnovers from the Zoo. So they just gotta get the parts together, I guess. And because 3-5, they can still make it to a bowl game. I don't know who they're gonna have to beat. Haven't looked at their schedule. I know the top teams there. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they're just waiting for baseball season over there at Vanderbilt. Who knows? Okay, interesting game here. Stanford beats Arizona State 15-14. Stanford's McKee, 320 passing yards. But their 15 points all come from field goals. Yeah. Cardi, he kicked 2 44-yarders, 2 36-yarders, and a 47-yard field goal to win the game. Arizona State's Jones, 227 passing yards, touchdown. He threw a pick. Badger, 118 receiving yards and a touchdown. What has happened to these David Shaw badass offenses we've been seeing the last several years? They have been non-existent the last 2 or 3 years. Stanford's always been a force in the Pac-12, and some years even in the national picture. What happened to them? Where'd they go? I mean, they're just like nobody talks about Stanford anymore. It's crazy. It's crazy what's going on there. What has gone on there the last few years. I really expect every year Stanford not win the national championship, but at least be in contention for the Pac-12 and a great bowl game. They've disappeared off the face of the map. I don't know what's going on there with David Shaw and his guys, but oh well. UTEP beat Florida Atlantic 24-21. UTEP's Hardison, 178 passing yards, touchdown, interception. Perry for Florida Atlantic, he's a pretty good quarterback. 164 passing yards and a touchdown. Every week, he's got decent numbers. McCammon had a rushing touchdown. Young had a 72-yard pick six. How badass is that? Louisiana beat Arkansas State 38-18. Woodridge for Louisiana, 316 passing yards, 5 touchdowns. Hell of a game for him. Fleming had 2 of those touchdown catches. Mayer for Arkansas State, 155 passing yards, touchdown. He threw an interception. Motley Motley Crue, 12-yard fumble return for a touchdown. Arkansas State, only 271 total yards. Louisiana, 522. So, Southern Miss beat Texas State 20-14. Southern Miss's Wilkie, 187 passing yards, touchdown. He did throw 2 picks, but Pittman, he had a 53-yard touchdown catch for Southern Miss. Texas State's Hatcher, 254 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. He threw an interception. Hawkins, 102 receiving yards and a touchdown. But Texas State defense, they kept them in there. They forced 3 turnovers and sacked the quarterback 3 times in this one. So you can see why they only lost by 6. The defense kept them in that one. As we mentioned a while ago, sad story, San Jose State, New Mexico State. That game was postponed because of Camden McWright's death. Man, that was just horrible, horrible situation there. Okay, this one, I wasn't expecting this. LSU beats Ole Miss 45-20. LSU's Daniels, 248 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, rushed for 121 yards and 3 touchdowns. Williams rushed for a touchdown. Jenkins and Taylor had TD catches. Kayshon Boutte was actually part of the game, which we haven't seen a whole lot this year for some weird reason, which I never got that. They gave him the coveted number 7 jersey that all these great LSU players have worn. And then, first few games of the season, you didn't see Boutte, except maybe walking on the sideline. It's like, this is your playmaker. Why the hell aren't y'all using this guy? Now they're starting to use him more and more. Probably should have done that from the beginning, but hey, I'm not a coach. I don't know. Jackson Dart for Ole Miss, 284 passing yards. Judkins, man, I think he's a freshman too. 111 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. This guy's going to be really, really good as his career keeps going in college. This game started off slow for LSU. Mississippi State, I want to say, they were up 17-3 at one point in the first half. My thoughts was like, no boy, it's going to be another Tennessee game. My wife, the LSU alumni, she's getting pissed. I'm like, this is going to be another Tennessee game, isn't it? I don't know what the hell happened. LSU clicked on right around sometime in the second quarter, started playing like they played in that Florida game the week before. Then to the end of the second half, they just dominated the ball, both sides of the ball. Offense looked great. Defense was getting stops. After a slow start this year, this is what I told my wife. I said, the first few games of the year, Brian Kelly's on the sideline doing this most of the time. It doesn't look like he was coaching. So I was telling her, well, maybe he was analyzing what he had and what he had to do to make that better. Because now he's pissed. He's yelling at players, yelling at referees. I mean, he's like a totally different guy. Maybe those first few games, he was just seeing what he had and what he needed to do with it. And before he really started getting it going, I don't know, but they're looking a lot better now. Well, minus the Tennessee game, of course, but that's Tennessee. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they won the national championship. Minus that game, the last couple, 2-3, LSU's looking pretty damn good. Like I said, Ole Miss started off fast and strong on offense and defense, 17-3 lead at one point. But they couldn't get anything going in the second half. LSU defense just kind of shut them down. They didn't even score. It was crazy. I really figured they were going to lose to Ole Miss. Hey, they didn't. I'm an LSU fan second. Well, actually, I might be LSU fan first now because I'm about done with Dumbo Fisher. We'll go with that later. But I was always A&M 1, LSU 2. Might be going to LSU 1, A&M way the hell down there. We'll go over that later. Anyway, yeah, good for LSU. Ole Miss got fixed what went wrong. They're still a damn good team. See what happens there. Another great one I watched last night. TCU 38, Kansas State 28. TCU is actually down by 18 points at one point in this game, and man, they just came back. Duggan for TCU, 280 passing yards, 3 touchdowns. Miller rushed for 153 yards and 2 touchdowns. Davis, he had a 65-yard TD catch. Johnson, he had a 55-yard TD catch. Kansas State's Howard, 225 in passing yards, 2 touchdowns. He threw an interception. Martinez, he got hurt for K-State early in the game. Howard came in. If I remember right, another quarterback came in and played for K-State to help. Vaughn, 47 rushing yards and a rushing touchdown. TCU got 26 first downs in this game. They were 10 for 19 on third down, 2 for 4 on fourth down. Defense caused 2 turnovers. They ended up at 495 total yards in this game. Yeah, damn good game. TCU came storming back. K-State kept it, though. They kept making it interesting the whole game. It was just like one of those shootouts until the end. TCU shut them down a few times, scored some points. And anyway, damn good game. I didn't see this game. I was watching the LSU game. I've heard about it from everybody. Oregon 45, UCLA 30. Oregon's Bo Nix, 283 passing yards, 5 touchdowns. Franklin, 132 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns. UCLA's DTR, 262 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. Charbonnet, 151 rushing yards and a touchdown. Bobo, 101 receiving yards and a touchdown. Oregon, 545 total yards. UCLA, 448 total yards. Bo Nix just keeps getting better and better every week. Would not be surprised if he's in New York in December. I mean, this guy just keeps getting better. Looks like leaving Auburn was the best thing for him because he just looks like a totally different quarterback. Another good one. I have this one on the iPad while the LSU game was on TV. Oklahoma State 41, Texas 34. Oklahoma State Sanders, 391 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. He threw an interception. Richardson, he had 3 rushing touchdowns for this one. Ewers was 319 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Robinson, 140 rushing yards, touchdown. He also had a 41-yard touchdown catch. Oklahoma State, 32 first downs in this game, 8 for 19 on third down, 535 total yards. UT was 3 for 17 on third down, 0 for 2 on fourth down, 523 total yards. I think what killed them, those the penalties. UT had 14 penalties for 119 yards. Oklahoma State had 0 penalties for 0 yards. I don't think I've ever seen that in all the years I've been watching college football. I mean, that's just crazy. Anyway, Texas falls to 5-3. Oklahoma State 6-1 now. They're still in the Big 12 chase. Wake Forest beat Boston College 43-15. Hartman for Wake Forest, 312 passing yards, 5 touchdowns. He also had a rushing touchdown. Banks had 79 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns. Wake Forest ended up at 428 total yards. Jerkovic had 221 passing yards and a touchdown for Boston College. They only had 56 rushing yards in this game. Another team that might be able to get the running game going. It might be a good team, but Penn State 45, Minnesota 17. What's happened to Minnesota? They're 4-3 now. I mean, a lot of people had high hopes from hell. Just a few weeks ago, they were in the running for first place in their division in the Big Ten, and now I don't know what's going on with them. Penn State's Clifford, 295 passing yards, 4 touchdowns. He threw a pick, but you throw 4 touchdowns, they could probably overlook that 1 pick. Singleton, 2 rushing touchdowns. Defense forced Minnesota to punt 7 times in this game. Minnesota's Kalikamanis, 175 passing yards and a touchdown. Not too bad. Ibrahim, 102 rushing yards and a touchdown in this game. Penn State, 5 for 11 on third down. Minnesota was 2 for 13 on third down conversions. Penn State, 479 total yards. Minnesota, 340. Minnesota got a lot of work to do. And as we see, not many games left in the season to do it. So, Fresno, 41. New Mexico, 9. Fresno's Fife, 225 passing yards and a touchdown. Mims, 165 rushing yards and a touchdown. Marino Cooper had 9 catches, 158 receiving yards, and a 75-yard touchdown catch. Pretty impressive. New Mexico, 51 passing yards, 87 rushing yards, 138 total yards. That ain't going to get it done. Y'all going to get some offense there. Fresno only had 1 penalty for 5 yards in this game. Pretty impressive. This one I don't know if I didn't see it coming. Uh, both good teams. Boise beat Air Force 19-14. I just figured Air Force was going to win this game. Not by much, though. Just a couple points. Not a blowout or anything. But hey, Boise came in there and won. Green for Boise, 207 passing yards. Kicker Dalmas hit 4 field goals to help them win this game. Air Force's Roberts, he had 90 rushing yards and a touchdown. Eastern Carolina beat Central Florida 34-13. Eastern Carolina's Mitchell, 105 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. Defense, Eastern Carolina defense forced 4 turnovers and had 4 sacks in this game. UCF's Rise Plumlee, 296 passing yards. He threw 3 interceptions, though. Oh, that ain't good. All right. I knew it was going to be tough, but I didn't think they would lose. South Carolina 30, Texas A&M 24. Rattler for South Carolina, 168 passing yards. Lloyd had 92 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. A&M's King, 178 passing yards, touchdown, threw an interception. Archain, 99 rushing yards and a touchdown. You can't start off slow like that. Even no matter who you're playing, you can't start off slow. And that's what happened to A&M. South Carolina scored 17 points in the first 6 minutes of this game. I really kind of set the tone. Both these teams had 2 turnovers. A&M had more rushing, passing, and total yards and still lost. They also had less penalties than South Carolina and still lost. That right there is coaching. Remember last week, the week before, I said I still got one little toe on the jumbo train. No. I jumped off that bitch last night. I am done. I don't care how much longer he's here so they don't have to pay out bukus of money. I'm done. I am done till he's out of here. There's no excuse for this crap. There really isn't. The players you've been getting the last few years. That's just down to coaching. So, yeah, I'm done. I don't give a crap if they go 11-0 next year and have a chance to get into the playoff going into the last game. I'm done. As long as he's coach, I'm done. I'm done with the Jimbo thing. So good luck. Louisville beat Pitt 24-10. Louisville's Cunningham, 122 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, interception. Clark, he had a 59-yard fumble return for a touchdown. Boy, he was hustling, wasn't he? For Pitt, Abdiconda, I think is how he says his name. 129 rushing yards and a touchdown. Pitt did commit 4 turnovers in this game. Both these teams are 4-3 now. Oregon State beat Colorado 42-9. Oregon State's Gulbranson, 202 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. Martinez, 22 rushes, 178 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns. Man, he had a hell of a game, didn't he? Velling had a 60-yard TD catch. Austin hit a 40-yard pick 6 in this one. Colorado's Becker, he had hit a 44-yard field goal. I mean, hell. That's about the only highlight for them. 44-yard field goal, that's hard to hit. But, man, they committed 4 turnovers, kind of killed them. Oregon State actually outgained Colorado by almost 200 yards in this game. I mean, that's just that shows you how bad Colorado is. Anyway, Oregon State, having a good year. They're 6-2 now. Good for them. Wyoming beat Utah State 28-14. Utah State's another team I thought would be good this year. I don't know what's happened to them. Peasley for Wyoming, 199 passing yards. Swin, 28 rushes, 160 yards, 3 touchdowns. They were buying him rounds at the Laramie bars last night. Utah State's Davenport, 104 passing yards. Tyler had a rushing TD. But damn, he was sacked 6 times by the Cowboy defense. Wyoming, 529 total yards. Utah, 217 total yards. Washington escapes Berkeley with a win, 28-21. Penix for Washington, 374 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. Both this came in the 4th quarter. Davis, he had a rushing TD. Plummer for Cal, not too bad, 245 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. So you can see why they only lost by 7. Plummer, he seems to put up good numbers every week. Sturdivant, 8 catches, 104 yards, 2 touchdowns. Great night for him. Washington was 10 for 17 on third down. Cal was 6 for 15. Washington had 65 yards in penalties. Cal had 15 yards in penalties. Washington, just like Oregon State, they're 6-2 now. So this Pac-12 race is going to get pretty interesting. Washington, Oregon State, Oregon, Utah. I guess you throw Utah in there. UCLA, USC. This thing's going to get interesting down the stretch. So we're going to have some good late night games. Like I've said before, screw Hawaii. These Pac-12, we're going to have some good late night games here over the next few weeks. So keep an eye on that. Last but not least, San Diego State 23, Nevada 7. San Diego State's maiden 32-yard touchdown run. Good for him. They had 91 yards in penalties. Man. Nevada's Illingworth, he threw a 20-yard TD pass to Curtis in the second quarter. That's all they scored. And San Diego State beats them 23-7. That is it. I looked on the schedule. No games this week on Tuesday or Wednesday. We do have like 3 or 4 decent ones on Thursday. So when we get back Thursday, we'll go over those. Preview. It's going to be week 9 already, man. Kind of gets sad when you get down. I mean, football's going great, but when you look ahead, you're like, shit, we only got a few more weeks of college football. Anyway, we'll go over that. Man, y'all have a good weekend. Be safe. Like Mondays, I know tomorrow's Monday. It sucks, but like I said, put this show on in the background and listen to college football and just act like you're working, man. Hell, why not? All right, anyway, y'all be safe. We'll see you on, Thursday.